I'm a student at the University of Saskatchewan. I came out to support the reinstatement of funds for Station 20 West. I think Premier Wall made a mistake, and I think the people are here to let him know that he made a mistake. Hopefully he has the courage and the wisdom to see that what he did is not the people's will, and the community is this community's needs need to be served through Station 20 West, and we're hoping to reinstate the funds for them.
So you're a med student?
Yeah, I'm a med student in Saskatoon. I think as a medical student, I think it will address the disparity that exists in terms of infant mortality, chlamydia, gonorrhea, the services that aren't available to IV drug users. Not meant to stereotype people in this neighborhood at all. There's a lot of families that live here too that need access to immunization because the immunization rate in these neighborhoods compared to the rest of the city is 25% lower. So I think it'll go a long way to give those people access to services in their own community.
I just don't think that you can ignore a whole part of the city. In fact, the part of the city that's the least advantaged and fail to put public money into such a good cause. We have to have this project. It meets a whole lot of community development and economic needs of this community, from health needs to the library to the good food store, all of those things that people who live in this neighborhood have needed for decades already. And it would make a huge difference in terms of the well-being of the people that actually live here.
I actually live in this side of the city, and I'm currently the president of Saskatoon District Labour Council. And as working people, we're concerned that there's people living in poverty in our city that don't have access to services, that don't have access to good food. And as union members, we want to share what we have with everyone in society, and that's just not happening right now with the current situation.
I think it's a way of citizens to show support for other citizens group for a project that is vitally needed in the city, that not only will positively contribute, affect one part of the city, but affect positively many parts of the city and many citizens. These sorts of projects really build community and build connections amongst peoples within the entire city.
I have some real problems with how the government has dealt with sort of the actual funding of this. This is money that this community was guaranteed almost a year ago in a budget, and they just decided one day to pull the funding on false issues, and it's going to hurt this community. We need to start doing some real healing, some real structure. We need to deal with some good food for good people to deal with issues like diabetes. You need the health service to deal with issues like AIDS and HIV and Hep C and those type of issues here in the community. The groups that have come together to deal with this issue, right from the university level, College of Dentistry, College of Medicine, Quint, CHEP, the Good Food Box program, all these groups together, the Good Food Junction Co-op, Food Co-op, all these groups together are really want to take a step forward and move this part of the community forward and grab all the people with it, so that in 5 and 10 years you look back and you say, geez, we've really made a difference for this place, and that's what today's about, I think.
I think it's a very, very important thing. The community got together and put together a project it's something the community needs desperately, and for the government to suddenly turn around and say, no, we're not going to fund something that they said they would fund is just awful. It's terrible. I'm a librarian, so obviously I like the fact that the Saskatoon Public Library has joined in to the project, and the low-income housing, of course, is very, very good for the neighborhood. I mean, it's good for the city in general. And the fact that it brought the community together, just seeing this large number of people come out to a protest like this shows that the community really cares, and the city, the people of Saskatoon care enough to make sure that this project goes ahead.
Oh, it's a very important moment in Saskatoon. As we grow and as some people prosper, life's getting more difficult for others, and if we don't make important investments in the community, then it's just going to become more difficult and more divided as a city between those who are benefiting and those who life's getting more difficult for. Well, it's a project that I think is built around the idea that you can benefit, the city can get, or the community can get better if you work from the bottom up. If you create links between the health programs that are there, the literacy programs that are there, the food, good food and nutrition, job creation and housing, and if you can, but also creating an exciting and vibrant and very high quality building that to help revitalize an area and show that this area is just as important and deserves the best just as much as any other part of the city. Well, I think the message is this isn't how we do things in Saskatchewan, and people, it offends people, I think, that 4 years of work goes into creating a project that is nationally recognized and extremely innovative. To just pull the plug on it it's not how we do things. People know that you need these types of projects to create a good, healthy community, and if you don't, then we create a community that is going to get worse and worse.
The organizers quietly estimated there'd be 1,000. Nobody expected double that number. And I'm talking about people who haven't been at a protest ever in their whole lives, who were here. Middle-of-the-road people, decent people, common people from every persuasion. They all turned out today.
I live within the core area, within the Riversdale area, and this is a perfect example of community coming together to revitalize and renew, and it's all about making stronger families, making stronger communities, and it will strengthen not only the core areas or the more poorer communities in Saskatoon, but it will serve the whole city, and that's why people from throughout the city are supporting us. And we were 1 week from tendering, and all of a sudden the money which had been committed last year's budget of $8 million got cut. We were suddenly told that it was being pulled and diverted to another. And they never met with us, no consultation, and all of a sudden $8 million, which is a significant amount, was suddenly pulled out from under us.
It's very sustainable and it's very viable. And also, we need to let the government know that this is community development. And that's what we told our past government as well. And we're just looking, we know our government is a great government. We know that our government can do good things because that's what government does.
It's been a long, long winter. Don't remember them this cold. Not even the prank calls are helping pass the time anymore. So take away my guitar, take away the chords, take away the shitty lane song too. You better take my heart and don't bother calling back. No, really, don't bother unless you know spring has come to me for good.
Hey George, how you doing?